Hello and welcome to our channel, The Future Enclave, where we talk about what's coming up next in the world. In today's video, we'll be discussing how insanely different the world's going to be by the year 2050. They say that predicting the future is like predicting the weather, where you may have some bright nights and some dark days in areas of technology, economy, and politics. You must be thinking, how can one actually predict what's going to happen in almost 30 years from now? So to say, we can predict how many people will be on the planet by 2050. But predicting technology and politics is where it gets a bit tricky. 50 years ago, many people didn't think that China would go on to become the largest economy. Or how there was no iPhone before 2007, which was indeed a breakthrough in the tech world. And like how Steve Jobs said, changed everything. As for politics, a lot did happen that so many of us did not see coming. But there were also predictions that, like Brexit. Well, all of this was in the past. And now it's time to move forward with our 5 solid predictions for 2050 that we think may be spot on. So let's dive right into the first prediction for the year 2050. And that is the common use of renewable energy. As you may know, we are standing on the brink of a climate crisis. And we see a lot of initiatives to help curb this crisis, so we can even live through 2050. We think that in the coming years, the use of renewable energy through solar, wind, and even hydropower will become a common practice in the energy sector. We hope to see a decrease in the use of fossil fuels and an increase in research and development of clean and green technology. Such initiatives may require a greater investment in the future, but it is so worth it. Just imagine, you'll be able to breathe fresh air, so many people will have access to clean water, and we may even get to see some exciting new innovations that we can't even imagine yet. Now, for the second prediction, we'll be taking a stab at the sensational cryptocurrency world. Well, according to the economic experts' predictions, cryptocurrency will completely replace the use of physical cash for almost all financial transactions to be done in 2050. Especially with this rise of blockchain technology, it's now super easy to get money across borders with some stable currencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so many others. Crypto is also more convenient as it can be used and accessed from anywhere in the world. And since it's decentralized, you don't have to worry about the involvement of banks and governments, which we think is a pro as well as a con. Other cons for cryptocurrency could be that it can't be tracked or traced really. So it's very likely that it'll be misused for corruption and such, like the risk of hacking and theft, the fluctuation and devaluation of currencies, and how there are still no proper tax regulations. But we hope that by 2050, we'll be able to overcome the cons and be able to ditch the physical cash for good. How do you feel about going all in with cryptocurrencies? Let us know in the comments below. And now we have the world's population prediction for 2050. The experts say the world population would reach almost 10 billion. And wow, that's a lot of people. Do you know what else is predicted? That about 2/3 of this population would be middle class, especially in Asia and Africa. We think that's some great prediction, as this means better living conditions for so many people. It is also predicted that Asia is going to become the most powerful continent, with China and India leading the way. They may have massive populations, but also fast-growing economies. In fact, many experts say that China is going to overthrow the United States as the world's largest economy by the end of this decade. As for Africa, it is also said to see significant growth in the coming years, with countries like Nigeria and Ethiopia putting the African mark back on the map once again. Meanwhile, other countries in Europe and North America are expected to maintain their economic growth, but perhaps at a slower pace. And in contrast to the current stats, many countries in Latin America and the Middle East are predicted to struggle with economic as well as political instability by 2050. We think that moving forward, we should address issues like income inequality, poverty, and sustainability to make sure that as many people of the global population can reap the benefits from the economic growth. Now, for our fourth prediction, we want you to think of a world where we have cures and vaccines for almost every possible disease. Well, to tell you the truth, it's not as far-fetched as it sounds. And by 2050, the healthcare industry is going to make some major advancements that will revolutionize the way we treat and prevent diseases. Just imagine getting a diagnosis from your smartphone directly, or being able to detect and predict life-threatening diseases even earlier than one being born, and then treating them efficiently through the use of technology. The best part of our prediction is that with these healthcare advancements, the cost of it would go down, and the accessibility would go up. This means that the majority of the world population will have better access to quality healthcare by 2050. And now it's time for the final prediction. And let us tell you that we saved our favorite for the end. While we know war might never end completely, we hope for much less warfare worldwide by 2050. There are multiple reports on international studies that predict the internal armed conflicts would go down by almost 50%, and that only about 7% countries will be involved in such conflicts by 2050. According to the stats, the decline in the violence could be due to factors like education and awareness, and obviously the high cost of war. Some experts also predict that countries like India, Sudan, Ethiopia, and Tanzania might still be at risk for armed conflicts by 2050. But, like I said, none of these predictions are set in stone. We need to take actions and measures now if we want the Earth to even see the dawn of 2050. The future from afar looks bright and better, and insanely different for the global population. What do you think the future holds? Share your predictions with us in the comments below. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you can stay up to date with the future. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.